kind of go and think about a leadership advice or entrepreneurial advice, Christy, people might be listening into this and thinking, you know what, yeah, I do fancy launching a recruitment business or some business of some type. What sort of advice would you give that person? Like, for instance, let's sort of break down the advice a little bit. What kind of thing would you say this person is likely to encounter as a problem as a first-time founder of a recruitment company? What is that thing, and how would you advise them to deal with it?
So the very first thing, whether it's recruitment or any market actually, is obviously to check there's a need for your service. Is there a demand for what you're offering? So if you want to start in recruitment and whatever geographic that will be, let's take Germany as one example, research the competitors. Are they open to either outsourcing or standard recruitment? So checking your markets and checking there's a need and just speaking to people. The more market research you can do and speaking to people, and again, this comes with the industry experience. The more industry experience you probably have your finger on the pulse to know if there's a market or not. But that's my first bit of advice, is to checking there's a market and a need. Good, check. Okay, there's that. Then another piece of advice from the top of my head is just knowing your numbers very early. Doing the cash flow forecast yourself. Ideally having some money to start with. I mean, cash is king. No cash equals no business. So having ideally, if you're going to start a business, having something to put into it yourself. Most businesses you can start for free these days. Yeah, you can get a website. You can get there's so many tools and wonderful tools you can get for free. So you can run cheap and run just on your own, as long as you can pay your own bills for the first months. And then when you make your first hire, if you choose to do that or you want to go solo, having the money in the bank to make sure, okay, it's going to take time for them to ramp up. I need to train them. I need to win business for them, right? So as your headcount increases, you need to be more of a salesperson or have a good pipeline. So always just be very good with your numbers and know that you're scaling at the right speed and pace and having that cash flow reserves. I made that mistake actually, so I can testify to that. I wasn't that hot on my numbers. I got excited. I brought in a load of recruiters. Suddenly the brakes came on at the same time. It was really bad timing, and I watched my cash flow decimate, absolutely decimate. So that would be it. And I must admit, when you're doing your own profit and loss and you're seeing how much you're spending and how much you're earning, it's really, really motivational to see that number on the spreadsheet. And then I'm like looking at it thinking, I can trim that. I want to see that number be a nice, clean number, like plus 100,000 krona per month or plus $1 million, whatever it could be. What do I need to do to get that? Oh, if I just get one more sale and give a recruiter that, we've got that. If you're driven by numbers in that way, my God, it's a very, very healthy place to be. It drives you to win business. It drives you to cut costs. You don't get excited when a new shiny tool comes on the market. I say that, I did this. And I bought the LinkedIn executive license, and I've got 18 recruiter licenses, which I'm only using 6 of. Don't get me started on this, but I am paying a fortune for LinkedIn. And I got too excited there, and I'm now paying the price. So in hindsight, it's a wonderful thing. Look at your numbers. Do I really want that on my cash flow every month? Because we've got to make the money to cover that and more. So that's my advice in starting up. And then big favorite of mine is focus on your branding, personal branding and company branding. That is what wins you business. Create content, get known in your industry and the market. Think about your target audience. Who are your target clients? What is the problem I'm solving for them? And then how can I articulate that? If I know companies are having a problem with getting a recruiter within 1 month or how to do this, I'll create some content and I'll show that I'm the voice of, say authority, but an expert in my field. Keep putting out content. My team quite happily create their own content. I don't tell them to. Have told them, ask them politely, hey, if you want to do some content, and I even did a competition one, I'll pay whoever does some post, and if they get a bit, good bit of traction, then you get a little bonus in your pay packet. Just for fun, no pressure, just enjoy the journey, but otherwise just enjoy branding yourself. But this is how you win business. I'm a bit more of I'm from the old school way of picking up the phone and cold calling. There's a phone book or there's a recruitment database. Christian, you start from Z and go backwards. I'll start from A. We'll meet you in the middle. I'd say that's all relatively dead. I know there's some amazing cold call people or salespeople out there, and credit to them. It's a tough gig, and it does have a place if you know your market really well. But branding. I'm very fortunate that most of my clients have come to me from just I've seen Talenteer, I've heard of Talenteer, I heard you do this. It's like it pays dividends, and you create the content. Suddenly, someone's contacted me 8 months, and it's like I saw your post like 8 months ago. It's like, but I didn't see you like or click on it. It's like, oh yeah, but I see these things. A lot of people watch, but they don't interact. then they pick up the phone, because if you're posting content once a week, when they suddenly randomly log into LinkedIn maybe once a month or 2 months, because they don't live and breathe LinkedIn like we do or I do, when they log in, guess what? One of my posts is going to surface to the top because I've posted recently. So I would absolutely advocate to try and focus on your brand when you're starting a business. It will pay back dividends.
Right. I think if you want to take, anyone listening to this is thinking about setting up a business, you want to just basically take the last 5 minutes of Christian's commentary there, because I think that's just rock solid advice.